And let's have a look and see what that does to the points then. Hancock, Everson, Woofenden, all up there. Hampel, Darcy Ward, Zagar, Seyfriedenoff, Pedersen. It's all to play for with 4 heats to go. But let's catch up with the man who's very much in the hunt for a final appearance tonight. That's Darcy Ward.
Darcy Ward, now I understand why you went that wide round the corner, down the straight all day yesterday.
Yeah, I've been here a couple of years ago, and the Laguda brothers were king around here doing that kind of stuff. So I knew builds a bit of a berm there. So if you game enough, you know, it can work.
8 points with 1 to go. Another race win would guarantee a good draw in the semi.
Yeah, it's you know, you got to make starts, and I haven't really made starts, but that last one was a bit better. I was sort of there, and Greg's one of the best in the world trappers, so he sort of beat me there. But you know, feel pretty good on the track. Just you know, you got to get out of the start, but so far I'm doing all right on the track as well.
I know if is a big word in sport, but you've only scored 4 rounds this year and got 55 points. This would be a 3-way battle if you'd been fit all year.
Yeah, it's all what if, but you know, things happen for a reason, and you know, I would have loved to have been trying to battle Woofy and Emil for the title, but you know, I'll let them two scuff it out.
For this year, I mean, this just makes you more hungry for success in the future, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it makes you want to come back fit, you know, a lot fitter, and you know, just try to do your best for next year. I mean, like you say, if I didn't crash, you don't know what could have been. So it's a big inspiration to know that, and you know, I'll be coming out swinging next year.
When you look down the pit lane at Ty's fitness regime, Niels, Nicky, is that something you realise now you've got to put in as well as the work on the track?
Not really. I mean, you know, Woofy's really fit at the moment, but that's his choice, and I think everyone is. So, you know, I just go out and do my own thing, and, you know, obviously Woofy's stepping up, making everyone else step it up. So, you know, game on.
See you at the sharp end of the meeting. Thanks.
What a character to have into Speedway, Scott.
Oh, that was classic, isn't it? I mean, it's, yeah, fitness is a huge part of any sport, but Darcy, I mean, he's just a phenomenal talent, and he's quite happy doing the beach and beer routine, and it's working for him right now.
Yeah, let's not forget, of course, Chris Holder, who's injured, currently 7th in the standings as it stands after the points so far. Darcy still, if he can keep up this momentum, he's got a very strong chance of sneaking into the top 8 overall to get himself in for next year.
That's where he wants to be, and like I say, I mean, how cool and interesting would this series be if Darcy hadn't had the injury? Also, if Chris Holder was still fit as well, I mean, we could have a 4-way battle for the title. Well,
Niels Christian Everson, who's on great form tonight, he'll be going off in this next heat on the inside. Darcy Ward, who we've just spoken about, he will be going alongside him, and then it's Jonsson and Kasper Zak. But it's time now to hand back down to your commentators, Nigel and Kelvin.
The number 17 then here in the RIETUMU Bank FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Latvia. Off the inside, the magnificent Niels Christian Everson in red. Gate 2 in blue is Darcy Ward from Australia. Andreas Jonsson of Sweden, gate 3 in white. Yeah. A tough return to the series tonight. And Christoph Kasperzak well below his best. He goes off the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah, Kasperzak's found points hard to come by. And since the World Cup, he hasn't been in the same vein of form. Had a disappointing start to the Grand Prix series, bounced back, had some sensational performances on the rostrum on a regular basis. But the last couple of Grand Prix has been out of form. He's outside the top 8, may have to rely on the challenge next weekend to secure his Grand Prix future.
This is heat number 17, Niels Christian Everson, a man who's relied on the challenge before as well, but he's riding beautifully this year. He's got the lead in heat 17. Now Ward comes up the inside. Jonsson is going to go high and wide around the outside here, though. The lead is with the Everson. Ward is just about hanging on to second, but is under serious pressure from Andreas Jonsson in white, who's gone to the fence and has got the drive and has just got the better of Ward into second spot now.
Only just. He's having to work very hard. Ward on the inside. They nearly clashed coming out of turn 2, second time around. Everson enjoying a smashing night at Speedway. Off the inside gate, he's fast out in front. Look at Ward, right round the outside. No, it doesn't work this time. Jonsson hanging on. They've just done a big track grade. The track has changed a wee bit. Ward all over the place in third place and loses momentum. But what can you say about Niels Christian Iversen? He's a major threat here tonight to go on and win a second Grand Prix.
Got 13 and 1 in Italy. He's going to equal his Italian score already here.
Yeah.
Niels Christian Iversen, he's going to score 13 points. He's rider number 13, but it's a lucky 13 tonight here in heat number 17. Niels Christian Iversen taking the checkered flag in the semi-finals.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful ride because he is assured of a decent pick now for gate positions. That's a super ride from Niels.
Super.
Second place was Andreas Jonsson, Darcy Ward third, and Christoph Kasperzak's night of misery is complete. He will have one eye on next Saturday at Pulls, Wimborne Road in Great Britain for the Grand Prix Challenge, when the top three in that meeting will book a place in the 2014 Speedway Grand Prix Series. Heat 17, Niels Christian Iversen the winner, Andreas Jonsson second, Darcy Ward was third, and Christoph Kasperzak at the back. Overall, this is what it means now. Iversen will be joint top scorer at least going into the semi-finals with 13 points, and Darcy Ward is on 9 and is 1 point away from keeping up that record of double figures in every GP he's completed.
Well, Gate 1 hasn't always produced the results that you would have expected, but here it does, because Iversen, out of the inside gate, makes a textbook first corner and charges down the back straight. Andreas Jonsson gets the better of Darcy Ward, who just can't quite find the speed he had earlier on. Track grade and certainly conditions were slightly different there. Iversen has made light of that, and he has charged to 13 points, and it's looking set fair for a very good pick for the semi-finals this evening, and he won't be far away. Barring some sort of dramatic mishap, he has to be a favourite for the final here this evening. Iversen on the right there, enjoying a well-deserved slurp of water. 13 points to his name. 9 points to Ward. That's satisfactory, I would suggest.
Very much so. We're moving on to heat number 18 here. It is a superb meeting tonight. I hope you're enjoying it with us wherever you're watching in the world. And some fantastic action, some great entertainment that we're having here in the Locomotive Stadium.
We are indeed.
In Daugavpils tonight.
It's been extraordinary at times. It really has taken your breath away, and you have to say it's been a smashing GP. Really has been out of the top drawer at times. We've seen some magical moves here this evening with some brilliant first corners. Got to say once again, Sayfutdinov under pressure has to keep working hard. Just keep his head down. 3 points here would be very useful.
Yep, Sayfutdinov is going off gate number 3 here, heat number 18. Heat number 18, Leon Madsen off the inside in the red helmet colour here then. Let's just confirm for you. Gate number 2 in blue is Thomas Golub. Emil Sayfutdinov on 3. Vasilik off the outside. Big race here. Heat number 18. Can Emil get there? He's been left at the start. Has to gain some ground now. The lead is with Madsen. Golub's taken out Sayfutdinov. And now Emil is going to have to come down the inside, down that back straight. Great ride from Leon Madsen. Sayfutdinov now is going to pressurise Thomas Golub. But it's Madsen with the lead. Golub second. Sayfutdinov third. And here up the inside in yellow comes Vasilik as well. Sayfutdinov has to twist the bike to try and stay in third place and challenge Thomas Golub.
Golub goes very wide in turns 1 and 2, second time around. Sayfutdinov trying to find a way through. Golub charges right to the fence. Isn't aware of the fact that Sayfutdinov is on the outside of it.
Oh no! Let's hope that he's going to be okay. Emil Sayfutdinov, the race is going to have to be stopped, you feel here. The referee is allowing it to continue, but Emil will not. The red light is on. He's put the yellow flag out. He's put the yellow flag out.
Well,
but it's going to have to be rerun. Yeah.
He reacted too late there. That could have been quite dangerous with the riders charging back in towards the first corner with the riders strewn on the track.
He was never going to get up Emil there quickly enough. There's no way. And the red lights went on extremely late.
Yeah.
He's going to be disqualified, Emil Sayfutdinov. Here he
really
goes.
Hard. It was a very hard first corner prior to that with he and Golub. A question, Golub there charging to the outside. I'm not sure he was really aware that Sayfutdinov was there, but certainly it puts the championship leader under a lot of pressure. Charges into turn 1, and the bike just lets go on him. But the red light, there's no question in my mind that the referee took too long to put the red light on. No surprise that the championship leader has been excluded. And that's a big blow. Things are going against him. Could be a turning point in the championship's chase. Sayfutdinov has been coming at him hard in the last 2 Grand Prix, and the pressure has been well and truly on him. But there, You just sense he was really fighting for his life, and the bike just lets go underneath him. And he wasn't under too much pressure. It was just one of those unfortunate things.
So, Emil Sayfutdinov has now completed 5 rides, and he has 7 points to his name. We have 2 heats to go. Drama here in Daugavpils.
Could be a challenging point, couldn't it, Nigel, if Woffinden can charge on and pick up some useful points in his last 2 rides. And there's no question that he could steal a march in the championship chase. And Sayfutdinov, having been the leader, he could well be going into the Koško-Slovenian Grand Prix as the chaser.
But Emil Sayfutdinov has a race win under his belt, which could work in his favour. Now, Nicky Pedersen has got a race to go. He's on 6 points. Second place would put him on to 8, and above Sayfutdinov and Jonsson, Lebedev as well can go above them. There is a possibility that Emil will not make the semi-finals here tonight, and that would really play into Woffenden's hands.
Without a doubt, and there's every chance of that. There's 2 or 3 opportunities here for riders to leapfrog Sayfutdinov. Just inexplicably slipped off the motorbike and has found the last 2 Grand Prix really difficult to find the right setup. Things were going very smoothly for him at the beginning of the series. Won 3 Grand Prix, could have won 4. Susie, his team manager, of course, was just consoling him. It's good to see that he's perfectly fit and up and about, but it's been another tough night for Emil Sayfutdinov.
Just a bit. And let's just say as well, Kelvin, if Emil goes on and wins this world title, he will be a fantastic world champion. He's such a nice, approachable kid. He's great to speak to.
It's a credit to the
Always
sport.
got time for people. An absolute credit to Speedway.
Without question, and he's been a superb professional. He's had his injury problems in recent seasons, but this season he found his confidence, and he's been making better starts than he has in previous years and has been in fine form. But just the momentum had switched in the last 2 GPs, and it has to be as a result of the pressure that's been put upon him by Tai Woffinden. What a corner that was with Golob running wide, and Sayfutdinov had made the decision to run wide. He does well to hang on to the bike then, but where they've watered, the track's a bit greasy, and he just gets caught here. And look at this here, it's so tight. He could have come off the motorbike there, and he's going to have to hang on. And as they charge into turn 1, he just, the back tire lets go on him, and he slips off the bike. Fortunately, he's not injured, because it could have been nasty.
Now, I think Marek Wojciech may have left the red lights until the last lap, forgetting that it's an FIM event. If it's league racing, when you go into the last lap, you can declare a race. Can you not? However, in an FIM event, there has to be a restart.
I think he was too long putting the red light on. It's simple as that. I appreciate you're playing devil's advocate and that you're coming up with a point, but for me, you had a rider strewn on the track. This is a high-speed track, and the riders were fast approaching coming into the corner where there was a rider on the track, so it didn't make any sense to that one to me, but fortunately, no harm done.
Okay, that was my very best effort to try and make an excuse for the referee.
No.
Clearly didn't quite work.
No.
But
not in my book. I think you should have put the red light on pretty much straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. Heat number 18. No rider in gate number 3 here. And we should emphasise as well that at the end of 20 heats, when there is a countback system, it is the FIM jury in this stadium that have to declare who are the qualifiers for the semi-finals. That is a fact. Leon Madsen goes off the inside in red. Thomas Golob goes off gate number 2 in blue. Emil Sayfutdinov is excluded. He will not go off gate 3. And Martin Vasilik is the rider off the outside in yellow. Emil and Susie just pondering their programme.
Yeah,
and just wondering what the chances are.
Absolutely, looking at the permutations, but it's going to be difficult at this stage to work exactly what's going to happen. Going to have to be patient. Going to need some good fortune to make the top 8 this evening. A little bit of an opportunity here. The 3 riders remaining have had disappointing nights. An opportunity to salvage something.
Heat number 18 it is. Can Vasilik make it from the outside? Golob is there. He's got the drop early on. And Vasilik up the inside now in the yellow helmet colour. Lovely ride from the Slovakian Martin Vasilik. Now Golob is going to try and challenge, but Leon Madsen's got a lot of pace here. He's really working Golob hard on the inside. Golob holding second place. Golob chops right across. Almost chopped his nose off there.
He did indeed. That could have got nasty if there'd been a clash down the start and finish line as they started the second lap. Vasilik, what a first corner.
Second race win on the cards. He's going to go above Saifutinov on countback.
Absolutely. So Vasilik salvaging something here with a terrific first corner. And he's out in front looking a lot more impressive. Madsen now up the inside, gets himself to second place. Golov trying to respond, is battling hard, but it's Leon Madsen replacing Chris Holder here this evening, who's in second place. Golov rather gets himself back to second place, but Vasilik, this will do very nicely for him.
Martin Vasilik is going to move on to 7 points, and he'll have 2 race wins to his name, and that will put him above Emil Saifutinov. It looks at this stage as though Saifutinov may not race in the semi-finals here tonight, and that will play into Tai Woffinden's hands. More drama, more twists and turns here in the Speedway Grand Prix tonight. 2 races to go before we know for sure the semi-final situation.
Yeah, Martin Vasilik started with a third place, and then he had a very impressive win, and then it's faded, but there he had an opportunity to give himself an outside chance of the semi-finals. I don't know if he'll be completely aware of it, but without question, he is in with a chance of sneaking into the top 8 this evening.
Vasilik, Golub, Madsen, the final result there. This is what it means overall. Vasilik has gone above Emil Saifutinov. If Nicky Pedersen and Andrei Lebedev score well, it means Emil Saifutinov will miss out on the semi-finals, but Tai Woffinden is already guaranteed a place in those semi-finals.
Yeah, it's a turning point in the championship chase without a question, with Woffinden now in the driving seat. Smashing first corner here from Martin Vasilik, who has had an up-and-down night, but the 2 race wins could prove vital for him, but he's still also going to have to be patient because he himself could be leapfrogged by Nicky Pedersen or Andrei Lebedev's. Good scrap for second place here, with Golub finally emerging in second place. Madsen puts him under pressure and makes him work very hard, but Vasilik out in front. All he can do was win the race. He took the second chance with both hands, and another boost for him. 2 race wins on the night. They've been hard to come by.
Emil Saifutinov 7, he'll still smile, no doubt about that, but he knows that his main competitor for the world title, Tai Woffinden, is just 2 points behind Emil Saifutinov. Going into heat number 19, this is Woffinden's race in hand.
Yeah, with a potential 3 rides to come if he can make the final.
Potentially, yeah.
And it could well be a turning point if he, the form of Woffinden, you would suggest he has a good chance of making the final here this evening.
This is a tough race for Woffinden, though, isn't it, Kelvin? Off the inside gate.
Absolutely, and when you look at the quality of the opposition, Zagar's been fast. He was quick last time. Hancock's been out of the top draw, and Pedersen, the never-say-die attitude. 2 points between the top 2.
Hampel on 93. Everson has snuck into the 4th position now on 90, so it's a big race for Nicky Pedersen as well here.
Yep.
19 it is. Heat 19. Woffinden off the inside. A win will put him ahead in the World Championship race. Matty Zagar goes off gate number 2 in blue. Greg Hancock gate 3 in white. And Nicky Pedersen going off the outside in yellow. The inside gate has not been kind. It's a huge test for Tai Woffinden. Saifutinov can only watch from the pits.
He can. Everson won from the inside just a few races ago. It is possible, but without question, this is a tough one.
Heat number 19. The tape tries. Hancock off 3. Beautifully done. Greg Hancock has that lead. Woffinden is second now, but Nicky Pedersen's got speed down that back straight. Pedersen is now going to pass Tai Woffinden. That will put Emil Saifutinov out of the semi-finals. It's Hancock with the lead. Woffinden battling away, holding 3rd place right now. Nicky Pedersen is second, and Woffinden, you would think, Kelvin, will be happy with this outcome.
Yeah, that's okay for Tai Woffinden. What a start once again from Greg Hancock. He's made brilliant starts tonight. He's out in front. Pedersen charging around the outside. Yes!
Wow, what a ride from Nicky Pedersen.
Superb stuff. Absolutely sensational.
Pedersen has that lead then. He's going to move on to 10 points. This will put Saifutinov out of the semi-final. Second place is Greg Hancock. Superb stuff from Hancock. He's going to finish on 12. This will put Tai Woffinden on 11. Zagar has pulled up at the back. He's on 8 points. But Tai Woffinden will go through to the semi-final with 11 points. He's going to be a point behind Emil Saifutinov with a semi-final race available to him. But what a ride from Nicky Pedersen. Got to pay tribute to him.
Yeah.
3 times world champion. That was a stunning swoop from Nicky Pedersen.
What a hard-charging rider he is. He's shown such grit and determination here this evening. Turned his fortunes around in the last 2 rides by picking up back-to-back wins. Was struggling early on, nervous on the start, missed it, didn't have enough speed, but you've got to give him an awful lot of credit there. Charged to the front in his previous ride, getting the better of Leon Madsen. And what a move that was to get to the front, to get the better of Greg Hancock. Emil Sayfutdinov studying the programme, but it's not going to be his night.
Yep, heat number 19, Nicky Pedersen wins the race to move on to 9 points. Second place, Greg Hancock. Third, Ty Woofenden. And that's enough for Woofy. He's on 11, just a point behind Greg Hancock now on 12. Niels Christian Iversen is going to lead and get first pick on 13 points. Great night for Niels once again. Big moment for Nicky Pedersen. I think he's fairly happy with that.
Well, he's over the moon, isn't he? It's such a great ride, and he shows such tenacity. Brilliant start once again from Greg Hancock, but once he's in front, just doesn't seem to be able to generate quite enough speed to stay there. Woofenden early doors down the inside. But look at the effort from Nicky Pedersen. Really pushing hard, right up against the safety fence. Charges into the dirt once again. Hancock in the middle of the track, just losing a little bit of momentum. And there goes Pedersen. Swoops around the outside, top draw stuff. Pedersen fighting for his life, keeping himself in the championship race. Wants a medal this year. Sayfutdinov, disappointment for him. The last 2 Grand Prix have been really hard yards for the Russian.
Got to say here as well, if Andrzej Lebedev can get a couple of points, get a second place, Lebedev will qualify for the semi-finals in his home Grand Prix.
Great, that would be a fabulous effort for the 18-year-old. He will leapfrog Martin Vasilik potentially, and he's quick. If he hits the front, he'll be hard to stop.
Hampel off the inside, Lindgren off 2. Lebedev, you feel, only needs a second place here. Right. He's off gate 3, and Antonio Lindback going off the outside gate. Lindgren and Lindback, the Swedes, off form tonight. There is a golden opportunity for this young man, Andrzej Lebedev, to qualify for the semi-finals in his home GP here in Daugavpils tonight.
He's been entertaining the home crowd. He had a race win earlier on. Certainly has got plenty of speed. He's inexperienced, but here's a great opportunity for him.
Oh, back into the tapes. Lindback off the outside gate in heat number 20, and that just about sums up Antonio Lindback's campaign. It's been such a disappointment for him. Antonio, 35 GP points now from, what are we up to now, 9 rounds.
Yeah, he really has struggled this year. I don't really understand why, because he was in fabulous form last year, but clearly impatient on the start line and just charged into the tapes. Easy decision, he will be excluded. In the build-up to the race, though, Nigel, we were talking about Andrzej Lebedev, and there's no question that he has a very good chance here. He's got the speed, without doubt. He has the speed to make the semis here this evening, and that really will justify the pick of the Wild Picard, because they had 4 riders they could have picked from, the World Cup squad, effectively. But they've gone with the youngster, and he's done himself and his country proud tonight. And who knows, we could well see a fair bit more of him. Lindback again, disappointment for him. It has been a disastrous season for the Swede. And the 3 Swedes in the series have found points very tough to come by. They just haven't been able to really get going this year.
Well, it means that going into heat number 20, Andrzej Lebedev only needs to beat one of these riders now to book his place in the semi-finals in his home GP.
So second place will do nicely. Thank you very much indeed to get to the semis. Hampel has turned his fortunes around. He had a last place earlier on this evening, and he looked completely off the pace, but then subsequently has really turned it on. And you have to say, Hampel, once again, the sort of rider that can be, you know, under the radar, quite low-key sort of character, but he's classy out on the track. He's gone win-win in his last 2 rides, and here you wouldn't put it past him making it 3 on the trot. Just missed out, of course, last time in Terenzano when Emil Sayfutdinov really forced his way through in the semi-finals to get to the final at the expense of Hampel. Got a feel for Lindback. Really has had all sorts of trouble this season when, you know, he was in fine form last year, but it just hasn't been his season. He's had 1 or 2 problems away from the track, but it's clearly affected his concentration at the Grand Prix. Got a feel for him. He'll be back, I'm sure. And such a talent on the motorbike when everything's going well. But Jarek Hampel here, 2 wins to his name in the last 2 rides, Nige. Well, you wouldn't put it past him making it 3, would you?
No, and in the battle for the World Championship in the World Cup, Emil Sayfutdinov had a, 15-point lead on Ty Woofenden. Woofy has pulled back 14 of those points now,
So
with
impressive.
a semi-final to come.
It's so impressive. It could easily be a turning point. Very different leading a championship rather than chasing for one. So the dynamic will change. It gives a little bit of pressure relief to Saifutinov in some regard with 3 rounds to go. But nonetheless, you're not going to pass up on points, are you? You're going to grab as many as you can to try and reach that goal of becoming world championship. But you have to give Woofenden a lot of credit. He has been fabulous in the last couple of GPs, all season long, even with a collarbone injury, making the rostrum in Gorzów. That alone was fabulous.
An opportunity for Václav Garutsky, the World Cup rider, coming in as reserve here now for the excluded Antonio Lindback.
Yeah. But certainly Garutsky was another very impressive rider in the World Cup. And in the Częstochowa meeting and again in Prague, didn't disgrace himself at all. Great opportunity in front of his home crowd here.
All the Latvian riders in the World Cup from Daugavpils, born and bred. Yep. Jari Kampel off the inside, Freddie Lindgren gate 2 in blue, Andrzej Lebedev gate 3, and Václav Garutsky off the outside in yellow. Could we see a Latvian 5-1? Oh, this is all about individual racing. Forgot for a moment there. Here we go with Heat 20.
Here we go, Heat 20. Plenty of interest from the home crowd. Saifutinov making his way to the changing rooms. Tough night for him. Sport can be cruel, but as I say, I reiterate, the dynamic of the championship could very well change. Saifutinov could well have some pressure relieved, and he'll be chasing Woofenden.
2 wins for Woofenden, semi in the final. He'll go to Slovenia with a 5-point lead. Long way to go, though. This is heat number 20, and Hampel has made a good start from the inside. Lindgren is in second place right now. Here come the Latvians. They're battling hard here, and Lebedev has got second place, and Garutsky has just gone past Fredrik Lindgren. Watch out for the man in white. Andrzej Lebedev really battling with Jari Kampel. He's just as quick. That was a lovely move up the inside, and Lindgren has got the better of Garutsky, but Lebedev is really giving it everything he's got here, Calvin.
Indeed he is. Brilliant stuff from Hampel. Classy first clap from him, but Lebedev's right up by the safety fence. Dramatic, entertaining speed. Look at Lebedev's go. He's generating so much speed. Swoops to the outside. Chops back to the inside. Now down the back straight. No, Hampel responds. Hanging on out in front.
The noise from the crowd is deafening here in Daugavpils. Lebedev up the inside. Hampel just about holds his line. Hampel has never had to work harder for a win in his career. Down the back straight, the roar of the crowd. They're desperate for Lebedevs to get through here. Jari Kampel just about kicking on, just about done enough. That is super speedway from Jari Kampel, and Andrzej Lebedevs has qualified for the semi-finals of the Latvian Grand Prix. It's fairy tale stuff here in Daugavpils, and this amazing night of speedway just takes another dramatic twist.
Well, what a race that was in the Heat 20. Proper speedway there. Andrzej Lebedev's all over the back of Jari Kampel. Hampel having to ride with eyes in the back of his head. He comes round for another lap of the parade here. The crowd are on their feet. Andrzej Lebedev's so fast in second place.
Hampel the winner with Lebedev second, Lindgren was third, Garutsky at the back. Hampel with a superb ride.
Welcome back to the Speedway GP in Latvia. We're just going to look back here at a couple of heats. Heat 17. What a fantastic start from Niels Christian Iversen on the inside here, Scott. He is a man on a mission.
It was. He's on fire, isn't he? I mean, it's. I mean, that GP win in Terenzano has obviously done his confidence and formed the world of good, because he makes an awesome start off one there and head down and go. Andreas Johnson in the white got round the outside of Darcy there, and Darcy's looked exceptionally quick tonight, but he just couldn't seem to find a way back past Andreas, and the outside line wasn't working for him. But man in shot now in the red, Niels Christian Iversen goes into the semi-finals, top of the board.
Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? You wait for your first GP to come along, and then all the form comes at once. Now let's look at Heat 18, a very important heat here for Emil Saifutinov. But what happened?
It was a huge race. I mean, he had some serious bravery on that turn there, going around the outside Thomas Goller, but comes into this turn like not under masses of pressure, but the back end just breaks away from him. Once the back end goes past a certain point, there's no way you can save it. He was desperately trying to hold on, but You know, he went down, hit the deck, and then he just had that horrible long wait to see what was going to unfold, who was going to make the semi, was he going to be in or not. He had some good fortune in Terenzano where he scraped into the final, but he couldn't do it tonight. I mean, he's exceptionally strong on the bike. He did well to hold on there. Comes into this turn, doesn't really do anything too silly, but you can see his head goes up and he knows he's going to hit the deck.
At this point, he was left on 7 points. Obviously, he was excluded from the restart. And Vasilik managed to go on and win that, give himself a shot. But at this point, he still had a mathematical chance. We go on to heat 19, and this was a massive, massive race for Nicky Pedersen on the outside. He knew that he had to win this. Interestingly, Woofenden's in this one as well. Some clever tactics going on in this race.
I dare say, yeah. It's, I mean, Greg makes a blinder of a start, like he has been all night off 3. You can see Ty there has a sneaky little look over his shoulder. You can see his Ty. Obviously, they will have done their mathematics. You don't have to be a genius for Nicky to go through. That would put Emil out, but full credit to Nicky. I mean, he was fast in this race. Puts pressure on Greg here, swoops around him. Whatever change they've made to their bike, it's working because he was quick.
OK, well, Iversen, as you can see, has the advantage. Hancock, Hampel, Woofenden all in the mix, but no Saifutinov. Let's go on to the draw. And we've already seen, well, that's Pedersen going for gate 2. So a couple of them are already gone. I think Woofenden went for the outside. Zagar has gone for gate 3.
In gate positions, it's going to be, how we can see there, Niels Christian Iversen lines up off 1, which is a brave move because gate 1, as we know, is always a hard gate to give up, but it's not been working the best tonight. No,
but he's won twice from the inside.
Yeah, so that's obviously a big confidence boost for him, and Greg has lined up off 1, so maybe they've seen something with the track grading. You know, if you can be level with the guys when you're off 1, you can dictate the first turn to a certain degree, but we've seen in the races previous that the first turn has been very, very difficult to know where to put yourself. There's been a lot of action in the first turn. Gate positions could be key. You know, this young man here, Lebedev's in his home Grand Prix, fantastic accomplishment for him to make it into the final. He's planned for 2, which is maybe not such a bad shout, really. It's had some constructive wins off a gate 2, good drive into the first turn. So sadly, in that semi-final, we don't get to see Emil Saifutinov, and you know, has the psychology changed? I mean, the pressure coming away from here, I dare say, could be on Ty as the leader. Is that going to do Emil a favour, and can he then recapture his form that he had earlier in the season?
Yeah, it's an interesting draw, that, because both Greg and Niels Christian Iversen seem to be the only 2 riders that have actually managed to make it work from the inside. Obviously, that's the reason why they've gone for that.
Yeah, and it's key, it's psychology.
As semi-final 1 then, Ty Woofenden will be starting from the outside. Zagar could still have a say in this. There's Nicky Pedersen. Well, we know what he can do. Never rule that
man out, can you?
And then Niels Christian Iversen. Can he do 2 out of 2?
Well, the form he's on tonight, he can. I mean, he's looked fast.
Darcy Ward, such a superstar. He'll start from the outside in semi-final 2. Hampel's won a couple of GPs this season already. Lebedev, well, this is a hero moment for him.
Greg Hancock.
And then Hancock, of course, already won a couple of GPs here in Latvia.
Yeah, the super fast gating, and like he said, he likes his place. He's got good history here. It might sound a very dumb and obvious thing to say, but any one of these guys can win. I mean, sometimes we see semi-finals where there's a couple of standout performers, but tonight, any one of these can win it. It's a very level playing field. See the gate stats there. Gate 4 seems to be the one with the most wins, but that's over the whole night, and also that's a race win, so the rider didn't necessarily make it from the gate to the first turn in front.
No, and most of those wins came in the early part of the evening as well.
Yeah, so it's, you know, now the track is, you know, drastically different from what it was in race 1. Like I say, that first turn is going to be crucial. Everybody wants to make it to the final.
Just a quick point here, Scott, before we get down to business in the semi-final. Ty Woofenden, could he have even possibly imagined what sort of a season he's having at the moment? Because he faces up to the fact here that if he can get a couple of points on the board, he can get himself into the final. He could be the World Championship leader by the end of tonight.
And what an accomplishment that would be. I mean, no, I'm sure, like all riders and kids, they all dream of being World Champion and leading the World Championship. And no doubt in the winter, in his preparations, he had that in mind. But he'd come into the season, you know, feet firmly on the ground, stating that top 8 was his achievement or his goal. He's surpassed that by a long shot already. And yeah, I mean, tonight, whatever happens, he'll be going away from this meeting in a good frame of mind, I'm sure.
So that in the two semi-finals, Everson and Hancock had their first picks. They both went for the inside gate. The two Ws, Woofenden and Ward, will be hanging it around the outside, and then those in between. Well, in the first of the semi-finals, Nicky Pedersen will start from gate 2, Zagar from gate 3, and then in the second semi-final, we'll have Lebedev and Hampel starting from gates 2 and 3. So let's get ready for the semi-finals and hand you back to Nigel Pearson and Kelvin Tate.
Riders emerge then from the pits area. This man, Ty Woofenden, says that he just scores as many points as he can, but surely he's been made aware that a second place would put him ahead of Emil Saifutinov, and he would be leader of the World Championship going into Slovenia in 3 weeks' time.
He's got gate 4, and I think he's quite comfortable with that. That gives him that option in the first corner. We've seen him make a great move earlier on this evening where he chopped back to the inside and hit the front, so I think he feels quite comfortable about things. Suggests that, you know, Everson on the inside, who has ridden brilliantly this evening, will be a danger, but Woofenden with a massive opportunity to steal a march in the championship chase, Nigel.
So the 21st race of the night, the first semi-final. Can Everson make it 2 wins on the trot in the World Championship with a win? Everson going for a bronze medal, challenging Jarek Hampel. And the World Championship race, it seems at the moment, down to this man and Saifutinov. But Woofenden in the semi-finals, Saifutinov isn't, but pressure on Woofenden to deliver and make that count.
Absolutely, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to do it. He's proven all season long that he's really on top of his game.
First semi-final of what has been a breathtaking GP here in Daugavpils tonight. Niels Christian Everson goes off the inside in the form of his career. Nicky Pedersen, the hard charger, who really has dug deep tonight, gate 2 in blue. Matti Zagar goes off gate 3 in white, a regular in the semi-finals now in a GP. And Ty Woofenden, who picked the outside gate, second pick. He's off the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah, he'll be comfortable there. He made a great first corner when he came from gate 4 earlier on tonight. Zagar and Everson on their return to the series are certainly doing an awful lot of credit for themselves. Everson, he's dangerous. He is so fast tonight, and he's fighting as well. Pedersen on gate 2. Here we go.
Here we go with semi-final 1. Everson's made a beauty, but so has Woofenden. Oh, and Everson's gone down. Everson has gone down. He's clipped the back wheel of Woofenden, and he's staying down. The red light is on now. The red light is on. Woofenden will have to do it all again, and I suspect that might be all 4 back.
Well, Niels Christian Everson there, I believe, could be under threat of being excluded, Nigel.
He put the red lights on very quickly here, Kelv.
He did indeed, and I think it was necessary. Woofenden makes a brilliant start, comes across, and he lifts, and Niels Christian Everson will go.
Right, he's out. Niels Christian Everson is out.
Just sensed when we saw it first time for real, Nigel, that he just pulled that big locker, and it was a little bit like he happened to him in Terenzano 2 weeks ago, where he just got himself into a little bit of a pickle in the first corner, and that's a massive blow because he's been the form man.
He's fuming. He's absolutely furious. He can't believe that decision. But when you watch the replay, you can understand it. Unfortunately for Niels, he picked up some drive. He's caused a stoppage of the race. The reason I said all 4 was because it was a first turn incident, but nobody else was involved.
No.
And unfortunately for Niels, that has to be the right decision.
It is. I just suspected that, wasn't sure if there was contact, because obviously Woofenden comes across. He just pulls a bit of a locker there, sits back in the seat, and the bike lifts up underneath him, and I'm afraid there is no argument. He has to exclude. It's a relatively easy decision for the referee. Got a feel for Everson. Riding so supremely well. Unexpected drive. Can't control the motorbike. We see it often now. Modern-day Speedway, the bike literally just getting away from him. He can't control it.
When I was commentating on the race with a naked eye, I just thought that maybe Niels had clipped Ty Woofenden.
Yeah, there was definitely a possibility, but...
that's why I called all 4.
I understand that, but just see it there. It was just one of those situations where it lifted up. The only reason that could have happened is if the front wheel of Everson had clipped the back wheel of Woofenden to make him lift up. But it's unfortunate. It's one of those...
It's unlucky, absolutely.
It is, because he's had 13 points. Woofenden's crew obviously disappointed to have to do it all again, but that man's more disappointed He'll reflect tomorrow or on the drive to Poland tonight for Polish League tomorrow.
Got a 12-hour drive, hasn't
Wow, yeah. Not looking forward to it, I shouldn't think, in the back of the van. But certainly 13 points, but just couldn't quite hang on to the bike, and disappointing. See the frustration. Understandable.
Well,
understandable.
Now, Woffenden, I think, is cooler than his pit crew. He just stood there thinking, right, I'm just going to go out and do it again.
That's what I'm finding so refreshing with him. He's staying very relaxed, calm under pressure, isn't allowing the whole scenario to get to him too much, just blanking it off, keeping it simple. Pete Adams, who's been with him throughout the season, is not here. I'm sure Pete's been in touch with him via text message and phone, and I have to say that he's doing his country and himself proud again tonight. Got to do it again. He'll be disappointed about that, of course, but not as disappointed as the man there in the background, because he can't take his place in the restart.
Absolutely. Ty Woffenden, Matty Zagar. Was a jet-propelled start from Woffenden from the outside gate. The 2-minute warning is on now.
2 minutes is on, but I do sense that when he had the pick for the semis, he felt comfortable about being off the outside. Because even if you don't get there, there's plenty of room in the first corner to make that turn back, and you just sense that he feels confident to actually make sure he gets into the top two. Zagar will be a threat, of course. He has, apart from the last ride, where he seemed to have some sort of issue and he failed to score, he's had a couple of race wins. I'm pretty sure he's had a couple of race wins. No, he hasn't. Excuse me. Just won his first ride and then a couple of second places, and then ran out of puff in his fifth ride. But he's in here, and you can't ride him off.
Here's Nicky Pedersen, another man you can never write off. It's an intriguing semi-final. 3 riders only now here in the first semi-final of the night. Drama as Niels Christian Iversen is disqualified. It's the right decision, although very unlucky for Niels Christian Iversen. You have to sympathise with him. Every time a rider just gets unexpected grip and has to put the bike down, it's just bad luck. It's part of the sport. And we move on to the restart. Woffenden, we remind you, if you've just joined us here in Latvia, it's what, 22 minutes to 9 here in Latvia tonight. Back in the UK, it's
coming up to 20 to 7.
Yes, absolutely. And some of you may be joining us thinking that the Grand Prix may only be halfway through, but of course we are 2 hours ahead of you in the UK, and we are up to the semi-final stage. No rider off the inside. Nicky Pedersen off gate number 2 in blue, Matty Zagar gate 3 in white, Ty Woffenden off the outside in yellow, and Woffenden is 1 point behind Emil Seifudenhoff in the World Championship, and Seifudenhoff has failed to make the semi-finals with 7 points tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's an opportunity for Woffenden coming from the outside. First time of asking, he made a brilliant start and got there. Needs to replicate that once again, because there's no question that Nicky Pedersen out of gate 2 has turned his fortunes around. He's had 2 wins in his last 2 rides, and you know what he's all about. He'll fight to the bitter end, so second time of asking.
Here we go with the first semi-final then. The tapes rise, and Woffenden has made a good one, but so has Nicky Pedersen. And Woffenden is going to switch up the inside. What a clever move from the youngster. Ty Woffenden has the lead. Pedersen's going to charge up the inside here. Woffenden closes the door. Wonderful ride from Ty Woffenden. He's got out to the fence here now. Almost locks handlebars with Pedersen.
Very wide coming out of turn 4. Brilliant move from Woffenden. That's why he took gate 4. He knew he would have that opportunity to actually get himself to the front coming out of the first turn. Zagar's not out of it either. Zagar putting pressure on. Nicky Pedersen in second place. Woffenden out in front. He stays there. He's going to have a 2-point lead in the championship chase. Zagar up the inside, Nigel. Pedersen and Zagar scrapping for the final.
Zagar is oozing confidence. He wants a place in the final. We're heading into the last lap of the first semi-final. It's a rare old battle between Pedersen and Zagar. Pedersen almost clips the back wheel of Woffenden. Down the back straight they go. The race is on for second. Pedersen has it right now. This is for second place. Zagar's going to try the inside line, but Ty Woffenden is the new leader of the World Championship. And Ty Woffenden of Great Britain will lead the World Championship going into round number 10 in Slovenia. He's turned around a 15-point deficit of the World Cup break, and he now leads the World Championship by 2 points. And it's not very often that we've been able to say that a British rider leads the World Championship.
Fabulous performance from Ty Woofenden under a lot of pressure. He didn't do it this time away from the start. Superb first corner.
Woofenden the winner. Pedersen was second. Zagar was third. It was an unbelievable race there. Woofenden now on to 14 points and in the final. And Iversen on 13. I should have checked my watch correctly, by the way, 20-8 in the UK. But either way, British fans will be delighted.
Yeah, an hour out. Here we see it again.
Never been the best timekeeper.
No, nor have I don't think. But here we see it. What a move in the first corner. Absolutely fantastic. Pedersen then tries to get back up the inside down the back straight. Super effort from him. But what a scrap for second place as well. Zagar very nearly gets into second here and into the final. I have to give him a lot of credit because Pedersen had to really have eyes in the back of the head, but that just typifies the sort of performance he's put in tonight. But Woofenden under pressure leads the championship by 2 points going into the final. That really is a fabulous turnaround in the championship chase when you consider 15 points was the lead with a couple of rounds ago, but Pedersen means business. Look how calm that man is. Incredibly just going about his business.
And now confirmation, and he's got another ride to come tonight, that Ty Woofenden leads the World Championship. 116 from Saifudanov on 114, but don't expect any emotion from Woofy. He knows he's still got a job to do in the final.
Yeah, remaining remarkably calm, and he's, you know, just doing some extraordinary stuff on the track. And I think that's been the key to it. He's just keeping his feet on the ground. Semi-final number 2. He's got a bit to live up to.
Here's the lineup. Greg Hancock going off the inside gate. Andrzej Lebedev, what a story for him. He's off gate 2. Jarek Hampel, gate 3, and Darcy Ward off the outside as well. Quite a lineup here. Hampel, a man very much in form, off gate number 3, an interesting pick.
Yeah, it was, and a surprise pick, but he did that last time in Terenzano when he took gate 2, and that wasn't fancied at all, but he did get away, but then Saifudanov passed him. Great lineup here for semi-final number 2. Hancock's been really sharp away from the tapes, and Ward has been spectacular. A little bit up and down, but it's very spectacular when he's got it right. Keep an eye out for Lebedev.
Oh, the tape stayed down very, very long there, but Hancock has made a good start, and now Ward has gone wide into the dirt. Ward is going to scrape the air fence and has got second place, and Hampel's at the back. Lebedev is third, but Hancock, the 43-year-old, has got all the experience, but what about Ward going high around the outside? Lebedev is third now, and the back is Jarek Hampel, but the old master Hancock is doing it again, and Lebedev!
It's time for second place. Ward slams the door shut. Second time around going into turn 3. Hancock once again so sharp away from track. Lebedev has got up the inside of Ward. The wild card is 18 into second place. Hancock out in front. Fabulous ride for Andre Lebedev to get into second place.
The atmosphere is electric here in Daugavpils. Hancock has the lead. The wild card, Andrzej Lebedev, is second. Ward is going to try the inside line. Ward has got him. Lebedev has lost control of the bike there, and it's going to be a Hancock-Ward 1-2. For a moment in Lutterzo, the roof was going to be raised here, but Greg Hancock with a stunning ride ahead of Darcy Ward and Andrzej Lebedev in third place. More excitement, more drama, more passion. This is Speedway at its best.
Speedway out of the top draw. What an effort there from Andre Lebedev. Got a feel for him, just got a little bit overexcited late on in the race to lose it, and he just misses out on the final, having ridden brilliantly to get the better of Darcy Ward early in the race. What starts Hancock's made tonight, and he was out in front, and it was a fantastic. A lap of honour here for Andre Lebedev, and fully deserved. Just misses out on the final tonight, but he has put on a terrific effort. And the crowd are on their feet and a fully deserved round of applause. He's 18 years of age, and he has done himself proud tonight, and his home track and his country. What a night of Speedway we've enjoyed. This really has been exceptional Speedway we've seen. World Championship Speedway at its finest.
Andrzej Lebedev gets a standing ovation from the Daugavpils crowd, and quite right too. He's the darling of the fans here in Daugavpils. Wonderful ride. from Andrei Lebedev. Didn't quite work out, just lost control momentarily, and it allowed Ward through. Hancock and Ward are in the final, together with Woofenden and Pedersen. You've got 5 world titles between them, and the raw youth of Woofenden and Ward still to come, with Woofenden 2 points ahead in the world title race with a final to come.
Welcome back. Time for the final draw. Drama there in the semi-finals, and Herbie gets to pick first. He's got to go inside, surely. Yes.
There he goes. I think we'll see a replication of the semi-final. Yeah, so ties there of 4, and then we'll have Darcy Ward and Nicky Pedersen will be sandwiched in the middle. So there you go. Nicky doesn't seem too fazed by it, does he?
Well, he hasn't got any choice.
No. Yeah, so... you know, that's it. So Nicky Pedersen off gate 3. I mean, this is going to be a tough final. Any one of these riders has looked exceptionally quick tonight. Greg Hancock has been absolute dynamite from the start. Possibly not as quick as some of the others on track, but it's that first turn is going to be crucial.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. This is one of those finals that you really kind of, it whets the appetite, because you've got 2 masters there that have got 5 Speedway championships between them, and then the 2 young guns in Ward and Woofenden.
Yeah, definitely, and what a final we're going to have coming up.
Ty Woofenden, the new championship leader, will start from the outside, looking to win that GP. Nicky Pedersen, he's not won one yet this year. Could today be his day? Darcy Ward. Well, who knows with him?
He's won a GP, and you know, like his race statistic coming into this event was something crazy. Like, with the races he's done, I think his win success rate is almost 50%. So, I mean, he's a man on form, and yeah, Ty Woofenden looking very calm and collected. You know, young pretender. Like you say, you've got Greg Hancock here, Mr. Consistent, not Mr. Grand Prix, and the oldest man in the field.
Yeah, Ty is just looking, Nigel and Kelvin have mentioned it, he just looks so calm, cool, collected. The fact that before he even goes into the final, he knows he's going to leave here as the championship leader must be a huge boost of confidence.
Oh, huge, massive, and that must be a nice feeling, and yeah, he's keeping calm, and I'm sure he's excited and maybe a little bit nervous at the same time, but he's got a battle on his hands now for sure. I mean, Nicky Pedersen here, we can see he's one of the older riders in the lineup too, but trust me, he scraps like a teenager. So, you know, when Nicky's on your tail, you certainly got to keep your wits about you.
Yeah, and we've seen some fascinating scraps between Woofy and Pedersen this season, haven't we?
We have. They've been like magnets almost, and you know, they've had a couple of big crashes, and hopefully tonight there's no crashes. We want to see a fantastic final, but it's going to be it's going to be a good one. There's only one of these guys that's going to come out on top.
I think what you can say safely is that with these 4 guys in the final, for one reason or another, the eventual winner is going to be a popular one.
Definitely. Like you say, you've got, you know, Darcy Ward in shot now. A young, exciting rider coming in. These other 3 riders in the final, all pretty serious about their food and their fitness regime, and then you have Darcy, who's just, you know, he's a young teenager. He's not too fussed what goes in his body. He just uses his natural talent on the bike to get the performances. So any minute now, we're going to see which one of these guys is going to come out on top here in Daugavpils.
Yeah, and the interesting situation here for both Nicky Pedersen and Greg Hancock, despite their experience and the titles that they've got between them, neither have won a GP this year.
No, they haven't, and tonight could be the night for either one of them. Like we say, Greg Hancock is, you know, whether it's that golden tyre or not, I mean, he's gating unbelievably well tonight. Nicky Pedersen has had a bit of a tough start, but he's come good in the latter stages, looked exceptionally quick in his last race before the semi-final. And we know Nicky is he's a rider that will just lay it all on the line. He only wants to win, and I'm sure that is going to be his main objective in this one.
Well, we're about to find out. It's Greg Hancock versus Darcy Ward, Nicky Pedersen and Ty Woofenden. It's an American, an Australian, a Dane and an Englishman. Who will win? Let's find out now. Back to the guys trackside.
Here we go, Nige.
Yeah,
what a night it's been.
Final. Oh, brilliant. And a worthy lineup for the final itself. These are the standings now. Ty Woofenden will lead the World Championship going to Krisko, Slovenia and round 10 in 3 weeks' time. Saifudanov 114, Hampel 96 and Pedersen 94. Pedersen is in the final, Hampel isn't. Big moment for Nicky Pedersen as well. Saifutinov not in the final either. Some big name casualties. Darcy Ward. Let me just remind you, the final itself, the old guard, the young guard. Yeah. Darcy Ward in his 3rd final, Woffington in his 5th final. Really is fantastic. The grand final is coming up then here. Who will win the Latvian Grand Prix? Will Greg Hancock win it again? He won it here in 2009. Will Woffington get his 2nd Grand Prix win of his career? First one was in Prague back in May. The grand final here of the RIETUMU Bank FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Latvia is here and now. Here comes the final. Greg Hancock off the inside, his 67th final appearance. Darcy Ward, gate number 2, in only his 4th final. Nicky Pedersen is in his 54th GP final. And Ty Woffington off gate number 4 is in only his 6th Grand Prix final. Extraordinary. Hancock, 45 years of age. Ward, 21. Pedersen, 37. Woffington, 23 years of age.
Yeah, he hasn't quite reached 45, but he's getting close. He's 43 at this stage. But
did I say 45?
Yeah, you did. Well, thank you for that. But without question, he's riding like a man who's an awful lot younger than 43. There's no doubt about that. I suggest that the youngsters here aren't going to stand on ceremony here. Won't show too much respect for the experienced boys. Here we go.
The grand final here in Latvia. Tapes rising. The tapes haven't got up properly. The tapes have not got up properly.
No, they didn't go on the inside.
No, so we're going to have to do it again. Greg Hancock was left stranded on the inside gate. So more drama, more tension.
Yeah, without doubt. We'll see it again here. It's just clearly doesn't go up on the inside. Not ideal. Yeah, doesn't release on the inside. The magnet doesn't let go. So they're going to have to fiddle around with that to make sure that it's working for the final. But yeah, it's been... a little bit of an anticlimax for a moment, just a moment again to reflect on what's happened this evening. Hancock, of course, has won twice. He won in 2009, the last time we were here, and he said to us this morning that the surface is entirely different. Didn't really know whether he'd be able to put the same sort of performance in, but without question, I do get back to the tyre choice. He's been so good away from the start and to the first corner, and that's what he said when we chatted to him. He said that he really liked the way the bike behaved going to the first corner, about the way the tyres work tonight, and that will not be missed by a lot of the boys in the paddock. I suggest that they may well start be testing. Now the other side's not working, looking down on the start. The outside hasn't released, so some teething problems with the start gate.
Yeah, and this will just add to the tension and the drama here in Daugavpils. We could have been right now celebrating a winner of this meeting. They're just testing the start gate again, and looked a little bit more like it.
That was better, wasn't it? That was much better. Both sides releasing at the same time. Darcy Ward there just trying to remain cool and calm with the clutch cooler just blowing some air down his back.
It's a humid evening here, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's been a gorgeous day, actually. It's been lovely weather indeed. Woffington just gesturing over to his team, a little bit agitated. Tense times, as you rightly say, Nigel. Tense times. It's not ideal for riders just having to wait for the big final. Hancock showing all his experience, remaining cool, calm and collected.
2 minutes is on.
Ward has been spectacular at times, scraping himself off the air fence coming out of turn 4. Certainly has proved to be a move that he enjoys, and also moves in the first corner. So this is going to be quite a tasty final, I suggest.
Greg Hancock, who used the number 45 as a kid in California when he was training on the Californian tracks, and that's where the number 45 came into my mind. Do us a favour, if you see him, don't tell him that I said he was 45 years of age, as we build up to the grand final here.
All right, then.
Daugavpils, it is. Yeah. Here we go again. Great night of Speedway, and we've got 3 rounds to go in the World Championship. Around Europe as well, the various leagues are reaching a conclusion. The playoffs in Poland, in Sweden, in the UK as well. The Danish league reaching a conclusion over the next few weeks. It's an exciting time around the world of Speedway right now.
Yeah, just a slight delay for Ty Woffington. He did gesture to his team for the bike to be recalled back to the paddock. Was a little bit concerned, but he's now safely on his way up to tapes. Let's keep our fingers crossed there isn't any issues with the equipment, but second time of asking. Let's hope the tapes go up evenly this time.
Here we go with the final then. Second time of asking here. in Daugavpils, the Locomotive Stadium. It's Greg Hancock going off the inside in red with Darcy Ward gate 2 in blue. Nicky Pedersen goes off gate 3 in white. And Ty Woofenden going off the outside gate in yellow.
Yeah, and he likes it there. He's comfortable there. Hancock on the inside is off the bike. Lots of deep ruts on the inside now, and he's having to work overtime. He really is actually having to pound the dirt in. He's back on his motorbike now, and he's just settling down. He's been asked to move forward, but there's no question there's some very deep ruts there on the inside, and he'll hope that he doesn't ground out on the way to the first corner. That could kill his momentum. Here we go, Nigel.
Here we go with the grand final then. Second time of asking who's going to emerge from the start. Oh, Pedersen's moved! His head is high and he knows that he's made a mistake there. Touched the tapes, and he's gone through the tapes as well, so they're going to have to put a new set of starting tapes up. And I just wonder whether that original start...
No, looks like he just does it on his own. That often is the case, and that's why he's clearly... Look across there. No, Woofenden doesn't move his stock still. Nobody to blame but himself, unfortunately. And he did it earlier on, and he got away with it. But having worked so hard to get to the final, that's a massive blow for Nicky Pedersen.
Huge pressure.
Because he was, yeah, and when you consider Hampel's missed out on the final, Pedersen had scrapped his way in. He only had 3 points to his name after 3 rides. He's done remarkably well to get this far. He's obviously resigned to the fact that he's not going to take any further part, but it may be an opportunity. Well, it is an opportunity missed.
It's an opportunity missed for Nicky Pedersen to really gain ground.
He's 2 points behind Hampel, so he could, with a win, he could have leapfrogged back into third place, and that would have been a great night. But still only going to be 2 points behind with everything to race for with 3 rounds to go.
And it does mean that Ty Woofenden of Great Britain has an opportunity to extend his lead over Emil Sayfutdinov in the race for the World Championship. This final seems to be taking forever, but...
Yeah, well, 3 riders, obviously, are all going to make the rostrum now, so it's going to be an opportunity to enjoy that. But it's all about the win now, certainly for this man. Just showed a little bit of concern. Ollie Olsen, of course, there, a former world champion himself, and understands this sort of pressure cooker situation. The young man now being tested to the limit on his patience and his focus. Has been remarkable throughout the season. Ward again, he has been fantastic. And of course, Ollie Olsen was a rider that Pete Adams was involved with early doors and was a team manager and a personal manager early in his career, and is now looking after that man. And Pete is a vastly experienced Speedway man and has had plenty of success, and there's no question that he's kept Ty on the straight and narrow.
Well, the starting tapes are down, so we suspect the 2 minutes will be on any moment now for the...
Yeah, Tony Olsen, the race director, will be instructing, I'm sure, very shortly, the referee to put the 2 minutes on to get riders back to tapes. This isn't easy. Having been in situations similar to this is frustrating. You know, the period of time waiting for the tapes to go up is so nerve-wracking and can be quite...
You know, just looking at it again, Kelv.
Easily could have done.
Did Nicky Pedersen, you know, because of that false start first time, did that contribute to him touching the tapes?
I think it may have done, but I think Nicky's aware that he isn't the fastest man on the start line in the final, and he knows that he's going to have to produce his very best to pick up the 3 points and the big win on the night. And unfortunately, the tapes have been held for periods of time tonight. We've noticed that quite often. And that does put you under extra pressure, particularly at the end of the night when it's all on the line. But it's a shame not to have 4 riders in the race, you know, without question. But still, nonetheless, there's 2 young guns here, and the oldest man in the series on the inside. It still could steal the glory by winning for the 3rd time here in Daugavpils.
Yep, the grand final coming up then. As we say, it seems to have taken forever, but it's the 3rd time of asking.
Yeah.
Nobody in this stadium has left. And they are desperate to see this final. It's a shame Nicky's out.
Yeah, it is.
Because it would have been great to see all 4 riders going for it.
Sure.
But that's the way Grand Prix Speedway is, the tension and the drama here in this grand final. Now we're down to 3. Hancock, 16 GP wins. The other 2 have only got 2 between them.
Both
1
this
apiece.
Year. Both this year. Here we go, Nigel.
Hancock off the inside then. With 16 Grand Prix wins to his name. Darcy Ward off gate number 2 in blue, and Ty Woofenden is the man off the outside in yellow. The outside has worked beautifully for Woofenden so far. Can it work again for him here?
He'll be hoping so, and if he can't quite get there, that's what he likes. It gives him plan B. He can do the chop back to the inside, and he's done it on more than one occasion. But he'll be hoping that he can really make a jet-propelled start. But Hancock could be a danger, because Hancock's starts tonight have been absolutely out of the top draw, and he'll be hoping for something similar. Here we go, second time around, third time around.
Here we go with the grand final then, here in Daugavpils, and the tapes have gone up perfectly this time, and Hancock's made a beauty. Hancock has that lead now. Will he take Woffenden out? Woffenden is going wide. Ward has got second place now, has got the better of Woffenden, but not for long. Hancock is riding beautifully here. Hancock has that lead, and Ward's gone to the fence and has scraped the air fence. Woffenden holds second place now, and Hancock has that lead magnificently, but don't rule Ward out. Look at him go wide. What a ride from Darcy Ward.
Fabulous lap from Darcy Ward. R09 stayed on his motorbike, right up on the fence once again, bouncing off the air fence. Tony Rickardson style. Brilliant out in front, Hancock and Ward.
Where's he going?
He's going to a different country. Ward desperate for another win. Going great guns around the outside. What a ride from Darcy Ward, but Hancock still there. There's a lap to go, Nigel. Can he hang on?
Greg Hancock riding beautifully. Here comes Ward. One last throw of the dice. Gets the drive. There's not enough there. And Greg Herbie Hancock is on the verge of another Grand Prix victory here in Daugavpils. It's hats off to Herbie Hancock. Greg Hancock with a wonderful win in Daugavpils. He won it the last time the GP was here in 2009. He's done it again tonight. It's Greg Herbie Hancock with the victory from the brilliant Darcy Ward. Ty Woffenden is there in third and has a lead in the World Championship over Emil Sayfutdinov going to Slovenia. Yeah. And that just about puts the top on. Wow. A sensational night of Speedway here in Latvia.
Well, Greg Hancock's starting has been out of the top draw tonight, and so it proved once again in the final. Hancock came under immense pressure there from Darcy Ward. How on earth Darcy Ward stays on the motorbike here, I'm not entirely sure, because he was doing some stuff that really defied the laws of physics there at times, Nigel. Absolutely staggering ride in second place. Got to take your hat off the experience of Greg Hancock up against the young Chargers. He prevails on the night, giving him chance to certainly moving up in the standings, and that top 8 is very much a reality now for Greg Hancock. Great scenario, great performance from the veteran.
Hancock, winner of the RIETUMU LATVIAN FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Second place went to Darcy Ward. Third went to Ty Woffenden. That's the final finishing order.
It has been very spectacular throughout the night, but Hancock's night fully deserved.
What a performance from Greg Hancock. Here we see it again.
Brilliant start from the inside initially. Red helmet colour. Woffenden can't quite get there. I thought for a moment that he was going to be able to get round the outside, but the track's gone slick. Down the back straight they go. Ward then steps it up into levels I can't quite believe. As I say, he is performing here at a level that I think he may have overridden the touch at times there, Knight.
That's why I was saying, where's he going?
I don't think he was overstating it if I say that. Because some of the moves around the outside, don't really know quite how he stays on. Look at this. On the back wheel, running towards, I thought he was going to do a Tony Rickardson there, where he was going to run round the bottom of the air fence. Once again, running in hard and fast and trying to find the extra speed to get to the front. But all credit to that man. He rode a stormer, and he's made sensational starts, and Greg Hancock fully deserves, and the team are delighted. He's fighting for his Grand Prix survival, and that's done him no harm whatsoever.
Brilliant. Well done, Greg Hancock. Many congratulations to the sport's nice guy and a true legend.
Yeah, nice guy. That's dead right.
Very much so. He thoroughly deserves that. Greg Hancock of the USA. Now back in the UK with the Pool Pirates as well, of course.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a Pool Pirates 1-2 in Latvia with Darcy Ward second. But what a night for Ty Woffenden. He leads the series now. And we'll hear from him very shortly indeed. Ty Woffenden down on the rostrum as the boys prepare for the celebrations down there. Woofy, Ward and Herbie Hancock. A brilliant night here.
Yeah, what a night.
And the crowd are staying behind. They've really enjoyed it. It's been like a party here in Latvia tonight. Wonderful, wonderful Speedway.
It has, hasn't it? It's been a special night of Speedway. I didn't expect it to be quite as dramatic as it's proved, but it's certainly no question that we have been in for a treat this evening. The championship lead has changed with Woffinden charging to the top. The last 2 Grand Prix have been absolutely brilliant for him. 18 points, of course, last time out in Terenzano in 2nd place, and 3rd place here this evening sees him now lead the championship with 3 rounds to go. That's a great effort from the Brit. Gotta say, I think it's a terrific effort from Greg Hancock, who has won in spectacular style. He's been absolutely faultless away from the tapes. Hasn't always been the quickest man out there, but has been super consistent. And in the end, he proved just that little bit more savvy away from the tapes. The ride from Darcy Ward in the final, I would suggest, was quite extraordinary.
Let's hear now from Ty Woffinden, the new leader of the World Championship, with Steve Brandon.
Ty Woffinden 3rd on the night, but more importantly, you're leading the World Championship.
Yeah, it's good. But, you know, tonight was... I did the job I needed to do tonight. Didn't stand on the top of the box, but if I can keep doing that for the rest of the season, I'll be world champion. But there's a few more meetings to go yet. Anything can happen, as everyone knows, with Speedway, and we'll just keep fighting till the end.
You really as calm as you sound?
Yeah, mate, it's not over yet. Emma will come back.
Great job tonight. Well done.
Yeah, quite right. Emil will come back and he'll be ready for Slovenia in 3 weeks' time. You can be sure of that.
Absolutely.
And Emil Sayfutdinov, absolutely superb. Here's Darcy Ward now with Steve Brandon.
Who do you think you are, Tony Rickards?
I was hanging it out there. You know, it's the final. It's what you do. So I give it everything, but couldn't catch the old master.
We talked about F earlier, but you put yourself in great shape. Up to 10th, 68 points.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. We're getting closer to the goal. So a couple rounds, keep getting the good performances, and need to go back to the drawing board and learn how to gate.
Great job tonight.
Yeah, that was something special in the final when he just roared off the air fence. Do think that he was a touch fortunate to stay on at times, but nonetheless, very entertaining.
Let's hear from Greg Hancock now with Steve Brandon.
Greg Hancock, you can't put a price on experience.
No, you're right there. And if any of you heard that song that was playing by Social Distortion called Story of My Life, this is the story of my life.
What is it about Daugavpils? 3 wins here.
Good memories, you know. I mean, obviously I had a good one the first time we had a Grand Prix here, and I had another one later on, and now 3, you know. It's it feels great, you know. Everything works good. I got good engines for this track, and I'm working my way back up the ladder.
And you look at the guys on the podium with you tonight. Speedway World Championships in great hands. Got a great future.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's probably long overdue if you want to look back at everything. And it's great to see all these guys coming through. It's pretty tough to keep them behind you these days. But, you know, full respect to all of them. And there's a couple of guys challenging for that world title right now. It's going to be interesting.
Big points game tonight as well. Enjoy the Star Spangled Banger. Well done.
I can't wait.
Well, all 3 riders who ride in the British Elite League now, of course, all 3 of them on the rostrum, and this is what it means now overall with 3 rounds of the World Championship to go. Ty Woffinden leads on 117, 3 ahead of Emil Sayfutdinov. It's beautifully poised. Jarek Hampel 2 ahead of Nicky Pedersen in the battle for the bronze. Chris Holder, who will not ride again this year, of course, slips down to 8th place. But Thomas Gollop well behind. Darcy Ward could well be emerging as a top 8 qualifier with 3 more rounds to go.
Well, he keeps riding like this. There's a very good chance. But Hancock wins on the night. That's his night. 3 wins here in Daugavpils. Fabulous performance once again. Got to say that he showed so much focus, and he was super cool under massive pressure. It took a long time to get that final underway. But when it really mattered, he produced a brilliant start. National anthem.
absolutely fantastic evening it's been for Greg Hancock. And you know what, Scott, there won't be a Speedway fan in the world that'll be disappointed to see Greg on the top step.
No, definitely not. Like he said, it's been well overdue by his standards, and fantastic. You know, he had the young guns charging hard. Shows there's certainly a lot of life in the old dog yet, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, he came into tonight on the sort of cusp of 8th place overall in the championship, but this win here tonight, well, he's only 6-7 points away from third overall.
Well, I was just about to say, yeah, he's a medal contender, isn't he? Like you say, he's only a few points behind Jarek. So, you know, the championship is all, you know, getting into the latter stages, all wrapping up quite nicely. We've got, you know, Ty and Emil at the top duking it out, but then, you know, third place is up for grabs by a number of riders.
What about these moves from Darcy Ward in that final? I've never personally seen anything quite like it. But
unbelievable. I mean, he was putting a very valuable part of his anatomy on the line there, and yeah, full credit. I mean, if he'd have pulled that off, that would have gone down in history. But like he said, you know, he's young and he's pretty fearless. He put everything on the line, but he threw everything at it. But this man here holding the trophy was unstoppable. You know, tapes to checkers, and yeah, he kept the young boys behind him, and you know, that will you know, Greg is vastly experienced and he doesn't necessarily need results like this to put himself back in the frame, but I mean, this will have done his confidence and his faith in the sport he loves the world of good.
Yeah, absolutely will, and we can't obviously finish tonight without talking about the man on the third step, Ty Wuffenden.
Leader.
Well, it's just an incredible evening for him, and the last couple of GPs, the amount of points that he's made up on Emil, who's clearly feeling the pressure, but now the pressure almost, I mean, does it come onto Ty's shoulders, or do you think he'll deal with that in a different way?
Who knows? I mean, he certainly seems very calm and collected right now. When reality kicks in on his journey from here back to race in Poland tomorrow, who knows? Who knows if the you know, the realisation that is going to change things or not? But certainly both of those two, you know, luck is like you need a little bit of luck to win any championship, and things have fell in their favour. But who knows now?
There's 3 points in it between Wuffenden and Saifutinov, and there's 3 rounds to go. So yeah, anything can happen in that time. Is it almost a good thing that Ty's racing tomorrow, so it can kind of take his mind off?
I think so. I think it's, you know, you can carry on, you can take the high from today into tomorrow's meeting. You know, you keep racing, keep race sharp. I mean, that's what's important, is to have time on the bike. If you've got too much time off the bike, then you start thinking too much, in my opinion. You know, so they're going on to their, you know, race for their respective clubs tomorrow, and in no time at all, the next GP will be around. And like you say, I mean, we mentioned the heroics of Darcy Ward there, you know, closing out in 2nd place. Had he have been fit for the whole series, and along with fellow countryman Chris Holder, who wish a speedy recovery to, who's on the mend and recovering well, how exciting could this championship have been to have 4 guys chasing for the title?
Yeah, I think Darcy Ward, if he can keep up this form, he'll definitely make the top 8. He'll squeeze in there somehow, but at the moment, all eyes on this man, 43-year-old American Greg Hancock in his 165th Speedway GP.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
The 97 and the 2011 world champion just keeps on going, and like you say, a win tonight will just almost cement the fact that he knows he's doing the right thing by staying in the sport that he adores.
Definitely. I mean, he's still been in fantastic form, but, you know, in the previous Grand Prix, just, you know, that sharpness and perhaps that edge that we've been so used to seeing from Greg Hancock perhaps wasn't there. And, you know, obviously people will perhaps start to question as to why, but tonight he looked like a young kid again and fully deserved the win.
It's certainly looking like in the championship it's just between 2 men, Ty Wuffenden and Emil Saifutinov, but that battle for third, like we just mentioned, you've got Hampel, Pedersen, Iversen, Hancock, Zagar's in there as well. Any one of those guys could pick up that bronze medal.
That's it. It's I don't remember a championship that's been this close. I mean, you always have a bit of a battle at the top, but to have, you know, 8 riders, well, from 3rd place down, like you say, to Zagar in 7th, are all capable of picking up that bronze medal.
Well, don't forget, round 10 of the Speedway GP from Kruško in Slovenia will be coming up for you on British Eurosport 2 live 6 p.m. on Saturday the 7th of September. And those of you that are looking forward to some more two-wheeled sport this weekend, Indianapolis MotoGP, of course. Well, tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. live on British Eurosport 2, we will be having the warm-ups. Of course, the Moto3 and Moto2 races are live. And then at 8 p.m. on British Eurosport 2 will be the MotoGP race itself. A huge thanks to Scott Nichols alongside me in the commentary box. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a cracker. Greg Hancock stands on the top step again. We'll see you in Slovenia.